What is going on, guys? We have Thursday Night Football tonight between the Falcons and the Buccaneers. It is week 15 already. The season is getting close to being done. I wish it would never end because the year we have had this year has been absolutely unbelievable. Easily my best NFL season to date, especially on the player prop standpoint. We've made profit in every single week this year except for one. A ton of really good calls, some really big slips. It's just been an awesome NFL season for myself, everyone who's been watching these YouTube videos, everyone in the Discord server, and especially the VIPs too, who have been getting to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff of my research process and all of my bets and things like that. If you want to become a VIP, you can get a 3-day free trial by using the link in the description below. Sign up for my Odd Shopper Tales where I post articles every single day, long written write-ups of all the player props that I am on every single day, kind of explaining, why I'm on them, what the trend is, and how I'm playing it on a given slate. And I even post screenshots of all my slips in there too. So if you want to become a VIP, use the link below and you'll get 3 days for free. And by doing that today, that will get you up until almost up until lock on Sunday. But all of my plays are already posted for the week before kickoff by Sunday. So you'll get all the NFL picks for the week if you do sign up for that 3-day free trial today on Thursday, because you'll be set for the rest of the week. So if you don't want to become a VIP, totally fine. At least come join the Discord server. Discord's completely free to join. There's just a couple channels that are hidden for the VIPs, but about 90% of the server is free. The link to join the Discord is in the pinned comment below. Join on in, make it whatever you want it to be an active member of the community. Post your slips, your questions, post your Spotify Wrapped. I really don't care. Talk about video games. Just be, an active member of the community. We've got a little bit over 1,700 people there now. I think we're getting close to 1,800, so we're growing pretty fast, but just join in, be active. That's all I ask. And last but certainly not least, before I get into the plays, the screen that I'm showing here, the app that I'm showing on the screen, it is called Outlier.bet. It is a paid website, a paid app, but it's honestly the best research tool out there. It's the only thing that I use to find all of my plays. You see it in all my videos. If you want a 7-day free trial for Outlier to give it a shot yourself, you can sign up by using the link in the description below, and you'll get the 7-day free trial. I think everybody gets it regardless, but if you sign up using my specific link and you eventually do pay for it, I do get some kickback from that, just for full disclosure. But this is the product that I use every single day, and I only promote things that I use. So let's get into the plays here. Interesting game tonight. We have the Buccaneers, first of all, with Mike Evans probably returning. Chris Godwin's back in the mix now. Baker Mayfield is definitely hurt, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later. Bucky Irving's back now. They're healthy. Everyone except for K. Dotton is in for the Bucs. On the Falcons side, you have Kirk Cousins, still no Drake London. So you don't really know what you're going to get from the receiving core because, Kirk Cousins has been doing some pretty weird things with his targets and his, he's just a statue out there. He just doesn't look great. But anyways, let's get into the plays here. The first prop I want to talk about is, we'll go with Baker Mayfield first. So we're going with under 34.5 yards on the longest completion. He's gone under this number in 10 out of 13 games this year. He's actually been one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 4 or 5 weeks or so, and I think that all just comes down to his injury. I think he's a lot more hurt than the media is saying, that the Buccaneers are saying too. He's just looked rough, and I think he's really struggling with the deep ball. He's just struggling. He's not being a good quarterback right now. But he's also gone under this number in each of the last 3 head-to-heads too. I looked at all the game logs for the Falcons. Unfortunately, Outlier doesn't show that for the longest reception as much. It only shows the most recent weeks, and quarterbacks have gone over this number in 3 out of 5 recent weeks against the Falcons. But when I looked at the full sample size against the Falcons, it was about a 50-50 hit rate. But I'm going to side with the history on this one. I think Baker's hurt. I'm going to side with the head-to-head too. I don't think he gets a long reception of 35 yards or more tonight against the Falcons. I guess I'll stick on Baker too, because I do have a parlay filler for him. I usually do, the straight bets and then the parlay fillers, but since I'm here, I might as well just go into it for him. But the parlay filler that I'm on, or the Green Goblin play, whatever you want to call it, it's over 9.5 rushing yards. I get it. He's hurt, like I was saying before, but he's still running. He's running a lot, actually. Averaging 21.9 rushing yards per game this season. Atlanta's allowing the 4th most rushing yards per game to quarterbacks this year at 23.5 yards per game. And they've given up 10 or more rushing yards to 11 out of the 13 quarterbacks they've faced this year, too. I think Baker should be able to at least get a 10-yard rush on this one or a few rushes. He had 6 attempts last game, 6 attempts the game before. He is becoming very notable for running on third downs, very similar to how Patrick Mahomes does it, too. He'll go and get that third down with his legs if nothing's open downfield. So Baker over 9.5 rushing yards, solid parlay filler, Green Goblin play over on PrizePicks, DraftKings, and FanDuel. I got one more straight bet here. Actually, I have two more straight bets. So the next one, we'll talk about Mike Evans on the same team. Not really sure what his role is going to look like, if he's going to have a full-time role, if his snaps are going to be limited. But I'm just going to ride a trend here. So Evans has actually gone over this number in 11 straight healthy games with when he's on the field and not limited. Like this one game here with 0, that's the game he got hurt. He only had 4 targets, no catches, but 4 or more catches in 11 straight games going back to last season. So hopefully that trend continues. We'll see. Just kind of depends on his role. This might be something that you might want to wait until like right before kickoff to make the bet until we get some news, because he could still get ruled out too, potentially. You never know. But I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes with Mike Evans this week. He's done pretty well against the Falcons in the last couple of seasons with 5 receptions in 2 games against them. So moving on to my final straight bet. This one doesn't feel that good, but we're going to do it anyways. We are going with under 60.5 receiving yards for Kyle Pitts. Now, Pitts has actually looked really good the last 2 games against the Jets and the Seahawks, but they were 2 really good matchups for him. Both those teams give up a lot of receiving yards to tight ends. The Buccaneers, they're about middle of the road. They're giving up 48.9 receiving yards per game to tight ends this season. However, there has only been one tight end in the entire season who has had 60 or more yards against them, and that was Trey McBride. Kyle Pitts had 59 yards against the Buccaneers earlier this season. So he didn't go over the 60.5 number. His head-to-head's not going to look great. His games with Kirk, it's going to look okay. We'll look at the games with Kirk Cousins over the last 2 seasons. So games with Kirk, 4-6 this year, going under, and 10 out of 14 last year. So it looks solid, but it's not like amazing. He only averages about like 44, 45 yards per game with Kirk. But he is going to get a decent amount of targets. It's just a fairly difficult matchup against the Buccaneers linebackers, who, like I said, the only tight end to go for over 60 yards against them was Trey McBride. Pitts is good, but he's no Trey McBride. I mean, I don't think he's as good as McBride, but he's a good player and he wants to be. We'll leave it at that. I got one final play here before we get out of here, and it is Bucky Irving over 1.5 receptions as a parlay filler. 4 more catches in every game this season while averaging 3.8 per game. The Falcons, they allow 4.6 catches per game to running backs and have allowed 15 other running backs this season to have 2 or more catches against them in their 13 games. So solid spot for Bucky. Wouldn't be shocked if Rachaad White gets a few catches in there, maybe Sean Tucker too. But I think Bucky can at least find his way into 2 catches tonight. But that's going to wrap things up for the NFL tonight. Like I mentioned before, if you want to become a VIP, I'm not sure if I'm going to post an NBA video or not today just yet. Haven't fully decided. But if I do, you'll see that later. If I don't, you'll see that as a VIP. I'll post it for them. And I don't, because whatever I don't post on YouTube, I post for the VIPs only. So if you want that 3-day free trial, use the link in the description below. If you don't, or even if you do, just remember to join the Discord server by using the link in the pinned comment below. Appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Obviously, I'm a little tired today, doing this late at night, but I wanted to get this out to you guys. So best of luck on your bets tonight, and thanks for watching.